I have a budget power station I want to share with you today. This is the Jump600X from the company VTOMAN. If you're interested in hearing more about it, keep watching. Before I discuss the key features for the Jump600X, let me show you what it came with. To start, it does come with a wall charging unit. It is not built into this device. Also, with a 12-volt auto charging cord. It comes with a manual, as you might expect, and this one comes with two USB Type-C cables. First one is the fast charge cable, and the other one is the USB Type-A to USB Type-C. Now, as far as key features go, there are two that make this unit stand apart from pretty much everything else in its size or class. And one is the fact that it is expandable, meaning you can purchase a battery to complement it. The battery would plug into this port right here on the side, and it would double the internal capacity of the power bank itself, or the power station itself. And the other key feature is the fact that you can use it as a jump starter for your vehicle. Also an accessory that you can purchase and use, obviously, for emergencies if you need to jump start your vehicle. Now, I have no experience with either of those, so I can't tell you how well those were. Now, we're going to go into the physical specifications first. So to start with, dimensions: 10.2 inches in this dimension, 8.7 inches in this dimension, 8.6 inches in this dimension, and weight is 14.8 pounds. Now, the battery capacity is 299 watt hours. The batteries are lithium iron phosphate, and they're rated for 3,000 full life cycles before dropping to 80% of their original capacity. Now, as far as the performance goes, the inputs and the outputs for the Jump600X, we'll start with the inputs. All energy going into this unit is done through this DC 5521 port here. And it's a max of 100 watt input, and it's regardless if that's coming from the wall charger, the automobile, or solar. It all goes in through here to a max of 100 watts. Now, outputs, there are two AC jacks here. They have a max output of 600 watts, although that can be stretched to 1200 watts if you're using a resistive load of some type. It is a pure sine wave output as well. There are 7 total DC output ports. To start with, the 12-volt auto running at 10 amps, and right below it, 2 5521 output ports also running at 10 amps. Over here, USB Type-C and 3 USB Type-A outputs. Now, the one more feature on the front of this, of course, is there is a light here. So it's operated here. I won't turn it on because you have to run through low, medium, high, and flashing in order to operate the light up at the top. Now, as far as demonstrations go, I'm just going to keep this simple. I'm going to use my fan, which will represent an AC load on the unit, and I'm going to charge up, or plug in at least, my flashlight to show you a DC load on the unit. So in order for you to be able to see the display and what's taking place, I'll have to reposition the camera slightly, and then we'll start the demonstration. But as you can see, the display is showing the current power left in the battery right around 71%. And what I'll start by doing is plugging in the AC wall charger into the 5521 input port here, and you should start to see the amount of power going into the battery, and it runs about 86%. Sometimes I get, or 86 watts, sorry. Sometimes I get a little bit more, sometimes I get a little bit less, but right around 86 watts. So it's not a fast charging battery by any means, at least from the wall charging unit. All right, now that that's running, the next thing I want to run is the fan. It's 110 volts, and first I have to turn on AC power. Once that's on, I can plug the fan in. You've probably heard the fan start up in the power station itself. All right, just make sure I'm plugging it in correctly. I'll turn the fan on low so I don't create a whole lot of noise. Turn it away from the microphone as I do so. So what you're going to see happen right away is that the watts display is only showing, can only show one at a time. It can't show you input and output. So originally it was showing you input, but as soon as I turned on the fan, it subtracted the output from that. So you're getting a net gain in this case because there's more input than output, but not by a whole lot. Now, the next thing, of course, I'll do is I'll plug in the USB Type-C cable into a DC port. I'll have to turn on DC power, and I'll plug that into the flashlight. Flashlight is now charging, and what you'll see is that it's going to drop even a little bit further, not a whole lot, because of course the flashlight's not drawing a lot of energy. But once again, the display, very basic. You can see the percentage of battery, time left to a full charge, unless you're just running it and on for powering other devices, then it will show time left for the battery, as well as the difference between the input and the output. So if the input is greater than the output, that's what you're going to see, just the difference between the two. If the output's greater than the input, that's what you're going to see over here on the display. Very basic demonstration, right? I think we have enough to wrap this video up. A few closing thoughts for the VTOMAN Jump600X portable power station. So it's important to understand that VTOMAN markets this as an entry-level or budget unit intended to save you some money by dispensing with some of the frills the major brands have for theirs. The first one that I can think of is the external charging unit. All the other brands or major brands have their charging unit built into the device itself, and you just have to have a cord that you plug into this and then into the wall in order to charge it. The other point there is that this is very slow to charge, so it will only accept maximum 100 watts, but in this case I was only getting 86 watts from that wall charging unit, so that would make it a very slow unit. The brand name ones would charge at least 3 times as fast as that, in some cases even faster than that. So it takes a while to get this back up to full charge, so you have to consider whether or not that's important for you. Now, one of the other things is, of course, is the display. Very basic. Now, it's sufficient. It tells you what you need to know. It just doesn't give you all the information you may want to know. And of course, there's no Bluetooth app to go with this as well, so you have to be aware of that. The last thing that this really does not have, and really should, because it's able to be included in the other units, is the UPS, uninterrupted power supply function. In other words, you cannot plug your computer into this and have then plug this into the wall, and in the event of a power failure, have the power switch directly to the unit within a microsecond to keep your computer running, or any other device that you have to keep running in the event of a power failure. It does not have that as well. Now, here's the thing. It's not cheaper. And that was the whole point. This should be less expensive than other units in this size range. Now, what I mean by that is this is a 299 watt hour, 600 watt output device. There are other units from major brands that can deliver exactly the same capacity for less money and have all those frills. So I'm not quite sure how they feel that they're marketing an entry-level device. Nothing wrong with this unit. It functions exactly the way that it should. It's just more expensive than it should be. And that's my closing thoughts on it. All right, I'll put all the information I have for the VTOMAN Jump600X in the video description. If you have any comments or questions, please put those in the comments section below. But until next time, get out and explore and take that path less traveled, because it will make all the difference. Bye for now.